This is RICKY, the Android Guy. Hey guys, welcome to our 100th episode of Android Weekly. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I am so excited to be on our 100th episode. We've done this 100 times. 100 times. I thought about having an image of how Android Weekly used to be like, but I got way too embarrassed. So I decided not to do that. But yeah, so if you're new to Android Weekly, we go over all the latest news topics that happen during the week, and then we typically go over all the questions you guys submitted to me either by emailing me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com or any questions that you ask live. So earlier today, I asked you guys to submit all of your S7 questions. I have about 2 pages worth of S7 questions that you guys submitted on that video earlier today. And now I will be answering all of those after we go over a few articles that happened in the mobile world. One that might have caught your eye, and that is the release date for the Note 6. We'll get to that in a second. But first, I want to let you know if you are tuning in live, ask your questions in the comment section down below. I get to every single question in the comment section. So if you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will get to it before the end of the show. All right, let's get to that thing that you've been wondering about. Ricky, when is it coming out? When is the Note 6 coming out? And it looks like, oh, I did 2 things. It looks like it will be coming out as soon as July. July looks like it will be coming out as soon as July. This is not confirmed by Samsung, but this seems definitely plausible. Couple reasons why. One, Samsung, when they upped it to August, it was a huge success in comparison to the Note 4, for instance. They did it from Q4, which is, October, November, December. They did it in October usually. Moved it from Q4 to Q3, and they dominated Q3. They destroyed Apple in their own quarter when they launched their iPhone, because iPhones are always released in Q3. So that's really big. Really big win for Samsung there, right? But how do you up that? Well, why don't you give it more time to really dominate that quarter? Why not? July starts off Q3. So it's a really smart idea if Samsung is truly planning on doing this. Not to mention that it was about mid-August when the phone launched to begin with. Depending on the country, of course. It was about mid-August when the phone launched in different countries, such as Korea, and then it came in the U.S. by the end of August. So really, you're only pushing it ahead maybe 3 weeks, and you have your July launch. I, for one, do believe this is true. I believe that Samsung has seen what great advantage was to coming out even earlier, and this by far could be a possibility. So I'm really interested in this. What do you guys think? Do you guys want the Note 6 to come out earlier? Would you be excited for this? Also, I have skipped over one thing that some of you might be interested in. It could launch with Android N, which again for Android it's a really big update. However, for Samsung smartphones, it's not that big of an update. You have things like Quick Reply, which I have right now on my S7 Edge, a Quick Reply through Hangouts built in on there. Don't need anything extra. I have the ability to split screen, which is the biggest feature on Android N. So, although it would be some nice features added onto there, don't get me wrong, there are some other features. The 2 biggest ones are already built into my phone. So, I'm not as excited for Android N. We'll find out more at Google I/O that comes in May. We'll see if it has more to offer, but I'm more excited about the Note 6 for the main reason of what we talked about before. As you can see on the screen itself, having 6 gigs of RAM, a 5.8-inch display. This could offer to a huge thing that we've never had before, which is not only having possibly 64 gigs of storage, which again, we've never had 64 gigs starting for a Note. It's always been 32. But not only could it have 64 gigs of storage starting, but the rumor of a dedicated graphics card on the phone is amazing to me. And it makes perfect sense because this year, the VR will be all encompassing. And Samsung has the biggest lead on the VR technology. They do. Now, to be fair, a lot of those were given out free, but they're in consumers' hands. More people will have a Gear VR, I guarantee you, more than any other VR system out in the market by the end of this year. So this is a really big opportunity because if Samsung can really make it a competitor, obviously it's never going to be at the level of PlayStation VR or Oculus Rift or HTC Vive. But this is $100 accessory as opposed to a $500, $600, $800 purchase. That's really big. And I think if it is to come true, I think Samsung has a really cool trick up its sleeve. All right, in other news, we have three other topics. Well, more than three, but two other main topics besides this one. First one is we are getting tons and tons of reports. Yes, the iPhone 7 will have dual cameras. Now, it's completely looking like it will be dual camera. What is the dual camera going to be used for, though? That's the main thing. Because, see, we've had HTC had dual cameras before, and LG has dual cameras on their G5. But they typically be used for wide angle, and it offers a little bubble effect when doing that. So, will this be ideal for iPhone to do that? That's the question that we're not sure of, but everything is pointing towards it. From the actual two cameras that we've seen, to schematics of how it would look like, to even cases that clearly point that there's something missing here. So everything looks like, yes, it will have dual camera, and yes, the headphone jack, as I said, since the beginning of the year, will be gone. So that is going to be the new iPhone 7. In other news, HTC finally gives us a date for the M10 announcement. Now, this is a really interesting thing because this is not a press invite per se, as in there will not be an event to go to. It's just simply going to be more of a virtual event from what we've seen. Now, so this will be April 12th is going to be the event. And again, from what we've heard, it's just going to be a virtual event, not a event in what they typically do, which is having it 3 locations or anything like that. It's going to be a different kind of event. So we'll wait and see what we're going to get, but it's really kind of interesting. Can HTC rebound is the main question. Quite frankly, I don't think so. I think they're going to adjust and go towards mid-range phones, and that's about it. And really stick to the HTC Vive this year because that's what's making them money, and I don't think high-end smartphones will make them money anymore. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Could the M10 bring you back to HTC? Does it have something that you could think that HTC could bring to the table and no one else could? Let me know in the comment section down below. Alright, and the other two articles I just wanted to share with you guys, and that is Samsung has trademarked a rollout smartphone display. Now this is kind of like a candy bar smartphone. Basically, you kind of just push it out and you have a bigger smartphone. Kind of like the Priv, but instead you get more screen. Now this is pretty handy simply because it makes your smartphone basically about this size, and then you push it up and it rolls up to be a bigger screen. So that's the whole idea behind this. Are you interested in a smartphone that has maybe a rollable display? Again, the whole idea about these kind of displays is you cannot break them. That's what I'm really excited for, when we can get screens that we can't break. That's probably my most interesting idea to have. Alright, and in this topic, yes, we are going to go over it. A lot of tech sites, for some reason, were too good to go over this. I'm going to go over it because it's important. Pornhub, yes, Pornhub has expanded their VR content to now go with the Gear VR, Oculus Rift, and all these sites. So basically, you can actually use the Samsung web browser on the Gear VR, click on a video, do the porn VR porn category, and then you have a bunch of different videos you can see, and then you can watch it in virtual reality. Complete virtual reality, you can look up, down, all the way around and see your virtual porn. And I don't shy away from this just because a lot of people are like, no, we can't talk about it. I don't care. Look, this content's out there. It's really interesting that, if the porn industry is backing it, obviously, yes, it could mean that VR is going to take more off. And they have this now for the Gear VR, Google Cardboard, and Oculus Rift. So again, the fact that it's getting out to more virtual reality needs content to survive. So the more and more content we get, the better it is. And that's all I have to say about the Gear VR and Pornhub. Alright guys, those were the articles for the week. Now it's time to go on to the questions that were asked earlier today about the Galaxy S7. I have not read almost any of these questions. I skimmed over them, but I will be reading them live to you guys just to see, how these questions came up. So let's kind of go on them and see what we have for asking. Again, if you have a question you want me to answer, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. All right, the first question. I already have a Nexus 6P, but I don't like it. Do you think the S7 Edge is much better or not? Best regards. Well, my opinion is that yes, the S7 Edge is much better than the Nexus 6P for a couple reasons. One, the battery life is substantially better compared to the Nexus 6P. Two, I will say this, that when it comes to the Nexus 6P, you are missing out on a lot of things that you don't get because you don't have a Samsung. The one I was bringing up, of course, is split screen. Android N will finally have it, but you still have to wait till, June to get that? Samsung has it right now. And not to mention they have more compatibility with it than everything else will have. So that's the big thing, is that I would say yes, the S7 Edge will be better. The camera will be better, the battery life will be better, and you have more features than you have on a Nexus. So that's my opinion. I would say yes, it overall is a better device, but it kind of depends on what you didn't like about the Nexus 6P, to be honest. Because if you didn't like certain things about it, kind of thing, what if those same features you don't like about the S7 Edge? So it depends on what you didn't like about it. All right, Paul asked, congrats on the 100th episode, RCKY the Android guy. Thank you, Paul. Is there an FM chip on the S7, S7 Edge? Where can you listen to FM radio? So in my country, no, there is not a chip. And there's not one on the international version I got. However, the international version that I have is, I always find out where the origin country is, so I just don't say international, because it actually does have a specific country. And it's from the UAB, United Arab, I forget what the last syllable means. But yeah, so the international one does not either. My guess is that the only ones that might have an FM chip will be like Korea. Other than that, I do not believe that any of them will have one. So that's my opinion. Adrian asks, you have been an advocate of a detachable battery. No, I haven't. But I'll read on. Doesn't matter about charging it if you're wrapped up, if you're at Warp Tour for 12 plus hours, meaning you still does not have no battery. Extreme use won't last 24 hours. There's still no battery that will extreme use for last more than 24 hours. You said SD cards won't cause the speed of the flash memory. Sorry, it's kind of just done. You said, okay, I'm just going to skim through it and I'll answer it. Okay, So commented on the battery part. I will tell you this, right? You guys saw that last week I was in the hospital. Again, thank you again for everyone that sent all their best wishes on that video. And I didn't have a charger, but with using it every single day, but putting the power saving mode, not ultra power saving mode, but power saving mode, so I still had access to everything, turning off GPS, turning brightness to about 50%, and using data, I turned off Bluetooth as well. I got a little over 3 days worth. Let me put this turn the brightness down. I am not a fan of the screen protector, which I'll sell that in my review. But hopefully you guys can see this. There we go. So I got over 3 days worth of battery life with this mode. So really big when it comes to battery life. So although it was an extreme usage, you can get a day worth of battery life on the S7 if you put power saving mode on, which will slow your phone down a little bit, but you can still use every app and it's not too slow by any means, but you can use it for more than a day. So I would say that's false, that you can use it for more than 24 hours even with the heaviest user. Now, you talked about memory, which I wasn't really sure what you meant, because you were talking about megapixels and that it works faster. It's really the speed of the memory card that's more of the differentiator than lowering the megapixel, because although that does lower the size, it's not by that much. So the question is, can the Note, though, be the perfect phone and some bendable display be separate? I'm not sure how you would do a bendable display separate from a phone. Exactly. I mean, the possibilities are out there, don't get me wrong. But I would say that the Note overall, could it be the perfect phone? I would say that the Note has been the best phone each time it's come out, as it's won our best phone on our channel every single year. So can it be perfect? I don't think any phone can be perfect, but can it be the best phone of the year? Yeah, it has a good chance. All right. I use a G4 at the moment, which the battery is killing it. I'm looking to change a phone. Galaxy S7 Edge seemed to be the complete package. I just wonder, should I wait for the Note 6? Do you think the Note 6 will match performance with the S7 Edge in terms of battery life and low light camera? I think the Note 6 will beat the S7 Edge in terms of battery life and camera performance. Camera performance might be identical actually, but I do believe it will beat it in low light. I do believe that, again, as I've said before, the Note 6 will not have water resistance. I'm almost 100% positive on that. However, I do believe that other than that, yeah, the Note 6 will be better in every way. The question is, do you want to wait? That's really the question. And now we know you have to wait till July. Can I watch movies I downloaded on the phone on the Gear VR? Well, yes, you can. This is how you watch any movie on the Gear VR that you have downloaded to your phone. You have to go to My Files. It's an app that's built into your phone. You drag all of your videos you want and move them to the DCIM folder. The DCIM folder allows you to have any video that's in there play in Oculus Video. That is a simple and easy way to do it. There's also a way of doing it in Milk VR, but I believe that's more sloppy. I believe for the best experience, watch it in Oculus Video, and all you need to do is put the video in the DCIM folder, and you're good. Congratulations on the 100th, Andrew Weekly. Praying for your full recovery. I appreciate it. My question is, why is the S7 has expandable memory? Or why did Samsung go back to expandable SD cards when it slows down the performance of the phone? Absolutely, it slows down the performance of the phone. I have had some of my friends that work at T-Mobile and Verizon call me up. They're like, hey man, this customer's phone is messed up, and first of all, I'm like, call Samsung tech support, not me. But anyway, what I told them is just, did you take out the memory card? Because if you took out the memory card, that would most likely solve your problem, because most of the time it is slower memory cards that are causing the issues. Over 50% of Galaxy S5s were returned because of slower memory cards. Had nothing to do with the phone, but the card would glitch out the phone. So why would Samsung bring that back? Because customers demanded it. Plain and simple. Customers demanded the S7 have expandable memory, and because of that, Samsung got a lot more sales. So that's why they did it. It was purely a business strategy that, oh, I need more memory cards. Fine, yes. So that's it. Do you think they will make a plus version of the S7 or S7 Edge? No. There will not be a plus version this year for the S7 or S7 Edge. The S7 Edge is a amalgam basically of, or just a combination more so would be a correct term, of the S6 and S6 Edge from last, or sorry, S6 Edge and S6 Edge Plus from last year joined into one. That's why it's a 5.5 inch screen and not a 5.7 inch screen. It met right in the middle, well, not right in the middle, but close in the middle, to have that perfect screen size for their customers. So you got a bigger screen without having too big of a screen, very one-handed capable, and it's just a great phone. So yeah, that is why the S7 Edge exists, and there will not be a Plus coming out this year in July with the Note 7, or sorry, with the Note 6. James asks, is it just me, or is the speaker on the S7 weaker than the S6? Yes, the speaker on the S7 is weaker than the one on the S6, and someone actually had commented after, and they are correct. Because water resistance happens, unfortunately, speakers have to take extra precautions, which means that you don't get as good of a speaker, unfortunately. All water resistance phones have never had a great speaker, in my opinion, and the S7 just adds to that, I would say, more so. So yes, that is the reason why, and yeah, not going to change that anytime. What is your SOT? Eric, you asked this. What is your SOT for the S7? Eric, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you mean by SOT? I just can't think of it right now. Could be because I'm on, not Vicodin, but a drug like that to make my pain go away. So I'm not sure if that's what's causing it, but I'll keep reading on. Let me know what SOT means. I have 3 hours before I get to screen on time. There you go, screen on time. That's where I should have just kept reading. I got that before you put it on there, Eric. So screen on time. 3 hours before you get to 20%. Jeez, did you check out my video on how to improve your battery life? It might be because I use data for the whole day. I play a lot of Clash Royale. I heard people get like 5 hours. What's wrong with my S7? Best fast charging battery pack for $30-ish or stand. Do you recommend? Okay, so you have a couple of questions on here. So what's wrong with your S7? Yeah, something's definitely wrong with your S7. Not sure why you're getting such a low battery life. I would shoot myself by that kind of battery life. Not really, but still, it's really bad battery life. So check out my video on how to improve your battery. Make sure you set everything as I put it on that video, and you should have way better battery life than that. I'm out all day, so I don't use Wi-Fi at all. So yeah, definitely. I mean, I would you have to improve your battery life. That's really bad. Let's see. So in terms of a fast charging battery pack, the one that Samsung made before, which was $59, it has dropped in price, but that one is truly fast charging for a Samsung one. Your Samsung fast charging battery pack will be much faster than anything with quick charge on it. So I would recommend getting the Samsung fast charging battery pack for your portable battery pack. However, it's more than $30, I believe, unless it's on sale. Do you recommend any USB cables, long ones, wall adapters, fast charging that you frequently use? No, for long cables, I do get the ones from, which ones do I get? The ones from Monoprice. I do get fast charging cables from Monoprice, but, or sorry, long cables from Monoprice. However, there's none with fast charging that I would really recommend. Um, they have relatively cheap. Also, do you roll screen protectors? Um, I hate screen protectors, apparently just like you do. I don't like them. I am reviewing one currently right now for my S7. I really don't like it. It's just not my style. I probably will take this off after reviewing it. I wanted to leave it on for a week to see how it felt. I'm not a fan of screen protectors though. I do not like the way they feel. Just never have. Um, yeah. Any chance for a root Verizon S7? What are your general opinions of the S7 daily driver? Better than the 6P? I do believe it's better than the 6P. Is there any way to root the Verizon S7? I don't believe they've unlocked the bootloader yet. I'm sure they will in the upcoming weeks, but not yet. My general opinions on the S7, not the S7 Edge, but the S7 is great phone, great daily driver. For heavy users, I feel the battery still might be a little bit light, but it just depends on how you use it. Overall, it's a great device and one of the best smartphones currently out that you can buy. The S7 Edge, though, I do feel, in my opinion, is better than ever in every single way. And if there's one smartphone I would recommend currently right now on the market, it would be the S7 Edge over any other phone. All right. Corey asks, do you have your apps optimized in battery settings? If not, you might want to. Oh, he was responding to your thing, Eric. So no, sorry, never mind. That was just a response. Looks like Samsung took away S-Beam function on the S7 Edge. Is there a way to try it? So no, that is not true. They did not take away S-Beam. It's just not labeled as S-Beam anymore. They just got rid of that label. When you tap the phones back to back, it still will send large video files. I did test this out earlier. So yes, it completely will be fine. However, I will say this, that the best way to transfer is through Wi-Fi Direct. If you do not know how to transfer through Wi-Fi Direct, there is a video on it on my channel. Make sure to check it out, and that is the fastest way to transfer. And tapping it back to back doesn't usually initiate Wi-Fi Direct anymore, which S-Beam used to. It usually does it through Bluetooth or some slower method unless you're on the same Wi-Fi. Which is just annoying. So you can do Wi-Fi Direct anywhere, but you have to know how to set it up. So make sure to check out my video on how to transfer using Wi-Fi Direct, and you can transfer files, huge movies, very quickly that way. All right, what's the significance between micro USB and Type-C? Well, Type-C allows you to do more things. First of all, you're able to have more connections. You can have a Type-C USB go to a VGA cable, for instance. So that is unique that micro USB couldn't do effectively. Type-C obviously is more convenient as well because it's reversible, so you can put it in any way and it will work. But that is the benefit of Type-C. What is the negative? I've actually have a friend that has a Nexus 6P that has gone through so many Type-C cables because they don't charge consistently and properly. So I'm not sure if that's just he got a bad Nexus 6P or something else, but I don't know if I would recommend. I'm kind of happy in a sense that I'm waiting for Type-C. However, as soon as Samsung adopts Type-C, all the manufacturers, Tilt, Belkin, everyone has said that's when we're going to make Type-C cables like crazy when Samsung adopts it. Because when Samsung adopts it, everyone's going to need a cable. Makes sense. Our tempered glass, screen protectors, all they are cracked up to be, and why? Okay, so are they really cracked up to be? I personally like tempered glass screen protectors. I would only get tempered glass screen protectors. In my opinion, I would never get non-glass screen protectors. It's just not good to me. Um, why does Big Red remove so many features like RAM management on the variant of S7 Edge? That's simple because Samsung really doesn't do anything to stand up to Verizon. If they wanted to, they could be like, Verizon, tough, our software's going on there. Do they do that? No. They're like, oh, Verizon, you don't want this on there? We'll take it off for you. We'll just take that right off. How more can we serve you? And really, they should be like, listen, Big Red, you're going to not put any bloatware on there because your customers, your employees hate this fucking bloatware. They don't like it. You go to any Verizon, those employees fucking hate bloatware. You know how you can know? That bloatware isn't on their phone. They take that shit right off. So, that's the reason, and yeah, they don't man up, basically. That's why Samsung doesn't have that feature on the Verizon one. Alright guys, those were all the questions that were asked on that other video. Now we're going to get to the chat board where you guys have been asking a lot of questions, been seeing it, been moving. So let's check out all of the questions. Alright, moved all the way up. And let's see. Should I switch from the S6 to the S7? I was supposed to have this video up last week, or if not 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, that hospitalization has had me, this is the first day I am starting to do videos again. Each time I would try to do videos, I would really get a pain in my side, and I just couldn't do the videos. I am feeling better now. I feel more confident in doing videos, so it is coming. But yeah, I do believe that most people should upgrade from an S6 to an S7 for this reason alone. One of the reasons why I believe that people should upgrade from an S6 to an S7 is the battery life. The battery life is so much better. So much better. And for that reason alone, I would recommend you upgrade from the S6 to the S7. Not to mention, of course, the expandability. Not to mention, of course, the way better low light. But yeah, those are the reasons why I would recommend you upgrade from the S6 to the S7, in my opinion. Alright. It's a pain to wait till the new school year to start. It's nice to have the best phone earlier. Haha. Alright, a lot of things. Hello from Japan, big fan. Hey, how are you doing? Thank you for watching me all the way from Japan. That's awesome. Alright. Should I switch to the Galaxy S7 Edge if I have a Note 5? Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you too, Tim. This one I would say is the one that I would not. Out of all the phones, okay? Out of any phone, I would tell you to upgrade to the S7 or S7 Edge on whatever phone you have, with the exception of the Note 5. The Note 5, I think, is so well-rounded, yes, that it is, you don't need to get the S7 Edge. Now, I did, right? I went from my Note 5 to my S7 Edge. I did that move. I did that exact move. Do I like it that much more? The camera is better, but not dramatically better, because the Note 5 already had an amazing battery life. The camera is my bread and butter. I love a good camera. I love to take photos, and yeah, the camera is so much better, and that's what I really fell in love with. I do have a lot of things that I like about the Edge. I love the design. I love how lightweight it is. I do love a lot of things about it. So I'm just not sure about it. I mean, I love the design. I like a new case that I got that I'll be reviewing later this week. But yeah, just a lot of things that I do like about it. However, would I upgrade from a Note 5? I would say no. I would say you don't need to. If you're crazy like me and you need a new phone every 6 months, maybe. But for the average user, I would say no. Wait till the Note 6, which isn't coming out in July. What is your opinion on the normal S7's battery life? As you saw, when I was in the hospital, I couldn't charge my phone. With putting on power saving mode, using it every single day I was there, I was able to get 3 days of battery life on it. Now, I did text messages, I did calls, I did games, I did Facebook, I did Instagram. So I did all those, and it was fine. I mean, I was able to still have it. I mean, that is when you know you have a great battery life, when it counts, right? I didn't have access to my chargers. I was literally in the hospital. I had no access to my chargers. I can't stop moving around too much. My side is starting to hurt. Um, but yeah, so during that time, it meant that I needed to have a great battery life, and the S7 did it. So that was really amazing to me. Good job, Pornhub. Now women really won't get attention from their man. Wow. Oh, that's Rob. Awesome, Rob. I'm so happy you can make it, Rob. Really cool. Um, uh, what was I saying? Sorry, Rob's a great friend of mine. Just awesome friend, and yeah, hopefully I will see him soon to answer all his questions personally about the S7 because I do owe him a dinner. Um, Hello RCKY. Hello Paul. I have an S7. Should I switch to the S7 or Edge? Happy Easter. It depends. Would you be happy with the bigger screen on the Edge? And would you be happy with an insane battery life on the Edge? If your answers would be yes to those, then yeah, I would personally get an Edge. I mean, the Edge is the better smartphone between the two. There's no way around that. The Edge is going to be better than the S7, but it's up to you. Do you want that? Do you not? That's going to be a difference. So yeah. Is there a way to resize the keyboard for SwiftKey on the S7? Did they get rid of it? I'll test that out right now. I love SwiftKey. I use it all the time. So let's see. No, yeah, you can resize it. I just resized it right now. So yeah, you can completely resize the keyboard on the S7. Alright. Have you heard about the N920i Note 5 International receiving Marshmallow or Samsung Pay? Android Pay doesn't do me any good here in Japan as of yet. Well, there's a big issue with that. Samsung has to push out the Samsung Pay update, which Japan is not on the list for the rollout that's coming out this month, if I'm not mistaken. China, I believe, was, but not Japan. Now, that could change, but once the rollout comes on the international version, or specifically that version, the 920i, for Samsung Pay, then it'll come out. But Samsung has to push that update because it requires a firmware update and a framework update. You cannot use Samsung Pay without those updates, so it is something that Samsung has to push out. So yeah. How do we ask questions? You just ask them in the comment section. That's it. Do you know if the S7 Edge from Sprint different to other carriers? I get lower benchmarks. Well, that depends on the bloatware. Sprint, you want to turn off that Sprint optimizer bullshit that they put on there. Like it's like a optimizer for the network or something like that, or connection. Turn that shit off because that drains your RAM like no other, and it's horrible. It's just horrible. Turn that off and you're going to have a much better benchmark score. Is the S7 better than the Xperia Z5 Premium? Well, I can't answer that. Why can't I answer that? For one, I can give a general consensus that most people have said the Z5 Premium was good, but not at the same level of a lot of the other flagships on the market. However, although I've repeatedly asked Sony to send us their phones, they always say, oh, we'll try to send it to you, and they don't fulfill their promise. So, Milton, if you want me to, or sorry, not Milton, Penido? I'm probably butchering your name. But for the person that asked about the Sony Xperia Z7 Premium, you know, message Sony on Twitter, on Facebook, and do at Sony Xperia or Sony Mobile. and tell them, hey, send the Android guy your new smartphone, which now is, I believe, the the Xperia X, I think they're calling it now, instead of the Z series. So I would love to review a Sony phone, but unfortunately, they've never sent me one. So yes. Do you think the Note 6 will be waterproof? No, the Note 6 will not be waterproof. What's the best case for the S7? So that depends on the person. I did get a few cases that I personally like to show you guys. So these are kind of some of my top cases. One I do not have. One is the Spec Grip case. I love that case, but I just do not have that with me. My brother had dropped his phone too many times, so I gave him that one just to have a better grip. That is one of my favorite cases, though. Another case is from Caseology. This Parallax one is a really nice looking case and has a really funky back texture. Really good grip to it. Has protection while still keeping it nice and thin. So like that one. I also like this Incipio one. It's called the Octane one. Has like a frost back, so you can kind of see through it. But really clean looking. It allows you to see it doesn't get fingerprints, obviously, because it's a frost, not a clear back. And really nice kind of texture on the side right here that looks really cool. And good protection. While, again, keeping a thin profile. And then I just got this from Case Transformers, one of my favorite cases. See, there's not a lot of silver cases I found, and that's really a problem for me because I have the silver S7 Edge. This one is extremely thin profile. It keeps it really nice and thin. And it even has a kickstand, which, as you know, you don't always get with cases. So I really like this one. I'll be reviewing this one this upcoming week. But that's probably my new favorite one for the time being. Can I receive text notifications on the S7 Edge screen like the Note Edge? No. You can see all texts on the Edge screen if you download the text message Edge panel. However, you cannot see them on there like the Note Edge did. Hopefully that helps. You can't see it just like it. You can do the rubbing the genie thing where you go like this, and then you can see that part. I disabled it because I don't really care for that, but you can see the scroll, but then your screen has to be off, which is counterintuitive. Do we have an Exynos or Snapdragon in our Do we have an Exynos or a Snapdragon in our S7, S7 Edge in North America? All S7 and S7 Edges in North America are Snapdragon. The international ones are Exynos. Exynos are better. Plain and simple. Just one question. Is it worth upgrading from the S6? I've answered that a couple times. Yes, it is worth upgrading from the S6. Do you know if the S7 Edge from Sprint... Oh, answered that already. Alright. I called tech support on T-Mobile. My Google Play Store keeps crashing. The tech supporter told me she doesn't know what's wrong with it and hung up on me. What a bitch. That is fucked up. Do you know what might be the problem with my phone? By the way, I contacted the CEO office about the tech person. Awesome, because that was a douchey thing to do, to hang up on you. All right, so this is probably what you need to do. Go to, what website am I thinking of? Hold on, need to pull this up. You're going to want to go to a specific website. APK Mirror, I think it's called. Yes, apkmirror.com. So you're going to want to go to that website specifically, and you're going to want to download a bunch of the Google apps from there. So you can go to All Developers, go to Google, and let me mirror this quickly for you. Let's go over here. Let's highlight this one that I'm looking at right here. And here you are. So this is the APK Mirror website. So you're going to want to go to this website, and you're going to want to download all the latest updates, including your Let's just scroll down. Let's go back actually. So you see them all right here. So you're going to want to download let's see, which ones would you want to download? You would probably want to download the Google. You have way too many things. So Google Play Store, Google Play Services, download both of those. Make sure they're the newest version. And Google Services Framework. So download those three, and that should hopefully fix it. If it doesn't, what you can try to do is that maybe, just maybe, some app is stopping the Play Store from working. So to figure if that's it, reboot into safe mode. If you reboot into safe mode, then it will tell you if there's something wrong. And that'll be it. All right. Is the Nexus 6P better than the S7 or S7 Edge? She answered that, yes. Why did they bring back the micro SD card if it makes the phone slower, as you said before? So I did answer that earlier. Basically, it's just as simple that you need to have that the customers wanted it. I think it was like 80% of their customers said they wanted the SD card back and wouldn't get a phone if it wasn't the SD card. So yeah. Do you prefer wireless charging or quick charging? Well, I don't have to decide on that because, without breaking this, I have wireless fast charging, as you can see. No, but this is fucking awesome. It's really awesome. I love the fast wireless charging. I use it. That's the only charger I use now. I don't use any other charger at my house except for fast wireless charging. It's freaking awesome. iPhone SE. I was wondering if anyone would ask me about that. I was gonna do a video on it, and again, I didn't have the energy or the strength to do it then. But the iPhone SE. So what do I think about it? Well, considering it for myself, it's a piece of garbage. Considering it for Apple, though, it is not as stupid as many people think, because it will sell in China and India, and also just countries that can't spend a lot of money on an iPhone now have a cheaper solution. This is $400. How will it do in the US? It won't do good. It will not do that good in the US. However, it will do, again, really good for what it's actually going for. What does this mean? Well, the iPhone SE is really just simply, we're not in Steve Jobs' Apple anymore. This is now Tim Cook's Apple. And what that means is Tim Cook is all about having growth year over year. And that's it. What that will do to the company, it'll make it a normal company. And we'll see what that entails throughout the years. But I've long said that 10 years after Steve Jobs had gone, Apple will go downhill. It looks like I'm going pretty much right on track now. So we'll see. Have you tried tempered glass protector on the S7 Edge? I've heard there are issues with them fitting properly. I have not tried one on the S7 Edge. However, the one that I'm waiting for is from InvisiShield, because they do have one, and I'm hoping that they will send me it soon so I can try it and review it for you guys. Does the Exynos version of the S7 have more free RAM available compared to the Snapdragon model? Yes, it handles RAM much better compared to the Snapdragon version. So yes, the Exynos S7 is better in everything when it comes to how it moves. I've heard if you replace the screen on the S7, you lose your waterproofing because they remove the adhesive or something. Is that true? Also, if the average price of a broken screen replacement at a carrier store. So is it true if they fix your screen? Well, where are you getting it fixed? If Samsung fixes your screen, it will still be waterproof because they're actually using the same adhesive. However, if you fix your screen anywhere else at a mom and pop shop, if you fix it at a Sprint, if you fix it at, a Office Depot, they do not have the same adhesive, and yes, you will lose your waterproofing. What's the average broken screen replacement at carrier store? I don't. Most carrier stores don't replace your broken screen. You have to replace the phone, sending it in and getting a new one. Which that I believe the average I would want to say is 170, 175. I know it goes up to 200, and I think it's as little as 150. Greetings from Greenland. Hey, nice. It's so awesome when you guys tell me where you're from and all these different crazy places. That's awesome. Thank you for watching. And from Honduras, thank you for watching from Honduras. S7 Edge is such a dream in the hands. I upgraded from the G3. It really is. It's amazing. I recently switched from an iPhone 6s to an S7. I think the battery is so much better. iPhone 6s terrible battery. I barely got 3 hours a day. Wow. Yep. See how much better it is now. I get the S7 Edge next month, and I would like a case that doesn't hide the design. I don't know much about the durability. What case would you recommend? Um, the I've done a couple review on clear cases. I think the Caseology clear case did the best job of showing off it without getting fingerprints. However, I didn't like the feeling on the side. Check out my review for that one, and I do have it posted up on the clear case for that one. And I also have ones like I like the frosted one from Incipio. This is an Octane case. I think this one would probably be the one I would personally pick out of showing off my phone's design. It's frosted, it's not clear, but it doesn't show any fingerprints, and that to me is more important. All right. Yeah, you do, but your help is more important. Get well soon. Thank you, Rob. I will be hitting you up, and yeah, we will get that one-on-one soon for helping you out. Safety word. Inside joke. Get well soon, Ricky. Hope. Oh yeah. I have a Note 5. You think I should wait for a Note 6 or get the S7 Edge? I would personally wait to get the Note 6. That's my opinion. Eric, you're like, he answered that. That's hilarious. Will the S7 Edge be better than the HTC One M10? That's kind of hard to answer because we don't know what the M10 has yet. Do I think it will most likely because of what history has shown us? Yes. Purely based on the history of HTC and Samsung for the past 3 years, yes, the Samsung would typically be better, but it's pretty much a shot in the dark. We really don't know how much better it will be. Will the S Gear 2... Did you mean the Gear S2 or just the Gear 2? Work with the S7 and S7 Edge? Can you make calls with it? So the Gear S2 will completely work with the S7 and S7 Edge, and the Gear 2 will completely work with the S7 and S7 Edge. The Gear S2, the Bluetooth version, cannot make calls or receive calls on the watch. However, the connected version can. So the connected version is a little bit thicker, and this version can pick up calls, and it does work with those. Will the Gear 2 work with them? Yes, I have a friend that has the Gear 2 with his newest Samsung, so absolutely the Gear 2 will work with it. Do you think the Note 6 will have expandable storage? I do believe the Note 6 will have expandable storage. I have the Caseology one, and he loves it. It's a dope design. Absolutely. The Caseology one's awesome. What do you think about Sony company not doing high-end devices, but concentrating on mid-range phones? I think Sony would do better to do mid-range phones. I honestly think Sony... So, what do I think Sony Mobile should do? I think Sony Mobile should get out of the phone industry and work on bringing PlayStation games to the phone industry. That, I think, would be much more profitable for them. They would literally turn a losing part of their company to a winning part of their company. They can make a PS4 style controller for cell phones. It'll sell like crazy. They can bring their PlayStation 1 and PSP titles to these platforms, and it'll sell like crazy. but they're trying to do their own phones, and that's not working. So yeah, that would be my advice. Do we know how to enable hotkeys, predictive texting like on the Note 4? I'm assuming you mean for the S7 and S7 Edge. I have not done hotkeys actually for these phones, so let me check that. See, when I say I'll answer it live, I really mean I'll answer it live. Like, if I don't know it, I'm going to figure it out right now. Ah, I see. It doesn't look like they have it. It does look like Samsung took that off. What? No. Text shortcut keys. Okay, which one of these turns this on? Okay. Hmm. This is curious. So, it's something that I don't think I can answer live, unfortunately. But what they're getting at is basically this, that on the customization part of the keyboard, it is not highlighted. So there it is right there, text shortcuts, but it's not highlighted. So that would be where the hotkeys things is, but it's not highlighted. So I'll need a further research in that, and hopefully I'll do a video on it, or ask me next week, and I will hopefully try to look at it before then. I just logged on. Hey, can you stop your apps from running in the background without having to do it manually? Yeah, or well, it depends on your phone provider. Because I do have one that if you look at how to save your battery life video, I show you how to stop it from running in the background. But that is if you have certain carriers. Not all carriers have that effect. So yeah, depends on the carrier. I'm getting pissed at the S6 Edge. This is I received the Marshmallow update. When? It should have been this month. It should be this month, but obviously you only have 3 more days. So 3 more days or 4 more days? 4 more days. You have 4 more days for this month to end. So yeah, hopefully you get it. If not, probably in the beginning of next month. But it is starting to roll out. Note 5 Verizon has gotten Marshmallow, and why not the Edge Plus? They're adding the Edge function. Yeah, I do believe it's because they are adding some of the Edge function from the S7 Edge, and that's what's delaying it. iHeartRadio app shuts, then restarts my S7 when on Bluetooth, and the app is running. They don't seem to have a fixed problem. People should know. Kronos, I would put that on iHeartRadio's app. So go to the Google Play Store and put it in a review. That's the quickest way to give them feedback, and so they know, like, holy shit, it's not working with the S7. That's the hottest selling phone right now that Samsung has. We need to make it work, and that's how you get their attention the quickest, is by giving them a bad review until they fix that. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. I use fast wireless charging on my S6 Edge Plus. It gets rather warm. Does it cause any damage? No, it does not cause any damage. Is wireless charging worthy? Absolutely. I use wireless charging every day. It's awesome. Everyone should use wireless charging. It won't damage your battery. That's good enough reason to always use wireless charging. Do you recommend Marshmallow on the Note 3? If yes, which ROM should I use so that I don't lose my S Pen and split screen features? Unfortunately, I just do not root anymore, so I completely am out of the loop of which ROMs to recommend. But just use one that has the TouchWiz features. That's the best thing I can offer you. And they usually will say TouchWiz features on there under the list on the ROM description. What do you think about the HT Clone 10? We don't know anything about it yet enough, so we'll have to wait and see. Hello, Ricky. Do you really think that the Note 6 will come out in July? I absolutely do think that the Note 6 will come out in July. Is it true that due to the phone being waterproof, the speaker quality is affected? Yes, the speaker quality is not as good when it comes to that. Greetings from Silicon Valley. Hey, Eric. Good to know. If I ever go up there and visit Google again, maybe I'll stop by. Um, uh, whoa, where is... Sorry, we did a whole move thing again. A bunch of questions just loaded, so I'm just getting all this. Does standby mode interfere with your Wi-Fi connection? No. Can that frost case take a lot of damage? Always used an OtterBox. Have such a premium phone. I kind of want to show it off, you know? The frost case actually is pretty durable. You can't bend it, which is always a good sign. So it's really durable when it comes to that. And the honeycomb style on it, I do have a video on this case. It's Incipio Octane case. Check it out. You see the honeycomb design up close, and it really does offer a good amount of protection. More than 4 feet to 6 feet, that's where I would cut it off. Opinions on Smart Switch in general, or smartwatch in general. Should I get one? I would probably wait. The Gear S2, although I think it was the best one of last year, it still had a lot of faults. I would personally wait till the Gear S3 would come out, or Motorola comes out with new watches, or LG comes out with new watches. I would personally wait on smartwatch for right now. Did Pornhub put that? Did Pornhub put the app on Oculus Home, or do you download it from somewhere else? Have my Gear VR in hand. Oh, I don't want. I could make a joke about the in hand part, and not gonna go there. But so again, you can use it through. It actually tells you on their website. If you click on the Gear VR and then you can click on Learn How to watch it, it tells you how to watch it on each one, and it gives you specific instructions on how you can watch the video. Most of them are either watching it through streaming, however you can download it and then watch it in Oculus Video, as I said earlier. Will the Gear S2 get Samsung Pay? What happened to the sign that you said it was going to put it on your wall about Marshmallow? I know I didn't put the sign on the wall like, you know, Marshmallow is these dates. Yeah, I did. No, is the Gear S2 gonna... I don't think Samsung Pay is coming to the Gear S2 till Q3, which means it will not come till July. That's just a guess, but I think it's a good bet. Can't reveal my sources. What are your thoughts about the Gear VR Oculus not being able to move to the SD card, causing the phone to fill up ridiculously fast? Yeah, that's a huge miss on their part. I actually have emailed Oculus about that. I think it's a huge stupidity on their part, especially because that's how it originally worked. It originally worked off of an SD card. With the Note 4 version, the very first Gear VR, it worked off of the SD card. It didn't work on the internal storage. And now you can't put anything on the SD card. That's a big miss for them. They need to be able to switch that up quickly. Why do you think the Note 6 will be better than the S7 Edge? Because it's going to be faster. It's going to take everything the Edge did and add to it. What they'll add, that I don't know. But if you look at the S6 Edge compared to the Note 5 was clearly better. If you look at the S6 compared to the Note 5, the Note 5 was clearly better. And even compared to the Edge Plus, really, the Note 5 was the better phone. So yeah, I would say that that's why. Hello, Ricky. I'm online checking on some stuff out, and I was reading an article. Samsung is going to have cell phone companies not put bloatware on their devices. Do you think it's true? No, I don't have faith in Samsung like that. I really don't. If they do, about fucking time. Do I believe they're gonna do it? No. I'll believe it when I see it. That's what they said with this one. Oh, we're gonna have so much less bloatware. You still had like 8 apps of bloatware on every single carrier. So no, I don't believe it. Until I see it, I won't believe it. Um, have you heard about Samsung Smart Windshield? I think I heard something about that. I didn't really pay attention to it, but I did hear something about like a smart windshield thing. Whoa, sorry. Whole bunch of other questions. Do you think the G3 is a good phone for 2016? No, you should upgrade. I mean, it depends what you're doing, really, but like, would I upgrade? Do I think it would be time for any of my friends to upgrade? Yes, I do. Um, do you remember the PlayStation phone? I do remember that. It was on Verizon. You had the little slide up thing, and that was it a good concept? Not really. Well, it was a good concept, but they didn't support it for shit. There was no games for it. There was nothing for it. There was no reason to get that phone. It was horrible. And the phone part was horrible too. Why don't you root anymore? I just don't see the need in rooting. Honestly, like the only reason I used to root was to get a free hotspot. With T-Mobile, I get 14 gigs of hotspot every month, so I don't need to. Yeah, that's my thing. But yeah. Um, how was the Gear S2 sold compared to the Apple Watch? The Gear S2 probably didn't sell very good compared to the Apple Watch, but they never gave numbers on it, so it's hard to tell, to be honest. And the Apple Watch didn't give numbers either, and that's because it didn't sell well. If you want to ever know if an Apple product doesn't sell well, they don't give numbers on it. Apple Watch never had numbers on it. Only other companies have estimated what those sales were. iPad Pro never gave numbers on it. You know why? Didn't sell well at all. But it is what it is. Um, I'm still sticking to my Note 3 in hoping to buy the new Nexus that is going to be released soon. But given HTC is making them, is it worth waiting for? I don't know. We'll find out at the end of May when Google has their I/O what the new HTC will be. New Nexus HTC will be. I'm gonna buy it. We'll review it and see. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it'll be. It's hard to say. I don't know how much confidence I have in HTC anymore, in my opinion. Does Bluetooth affect doze on Marshmallow? I keep reading rumors of the S7 Edge stops doze from working. My doze works fine. I mean, as you saw, the thing that was really great about my phones where the standby time was amazing. For the phone to last 3 days, every time I wasn't using it, the battery didn't move. So that was awesome. Hey, I have Samsung's Milk Music on my S7. I will keep opening up randomly, and when I unlock the screen, is there a way to prevent it from opening without deleting the app? I would try to remove the app and then reinstall it to see if that helps, but it looks like there's some issue with that S7, depending on maybe the carrier, it's having some issues with that version of Milk. Uh, Can the fingerprint reader be turned off for a few hours so my girlfriend doesn't mess with it at night? No. I mean, you can turn it off manually, but I mean, you have other issues with that. I'm not gonna get into that, RJ, Ray J. Do you like the Gear VR overall? Is it worth buying? I think for $100, it's hard to turn the Gear VR down, especially when there's only more content coming to it. I always say the main time I love the Gear VR, the biggest time I love it, is by far when I'm on a plane. When I'm on a plane, I will never go back to going on a plane without a VR. That is perfect. It's awesome. I tune out the world and I listen to my VR. That's the best feeling to me. Note 6 will not be waterproof. Is this correct? Yes, this is correct. The Note 6 will not be waterproof. Um, Dang it. Every time I scroll, there's like a bunch of new questions. My S7 Edge still gets warm. I thought the phone had some kind of cooling system. It does have some kind of cooling system. Check out my video on what do you call it? Check out my video on how to stop the S7 from overheating. That has helped a lot of people out with the overheating issues with the S7. Do that, and it should be a lot better. Which is the right Harmony Home Hub to get from Amazon? I see two different ones. I need the one you had on the video for because I have the Edge Plus. I did a review on it, and I think the link should be in there, but I will pull that up for you. Your orders. Harmony Hub. Did I not buy? No, I didn't buy that from Amazon. Never mind. Thought I bought it from Amazon, but I bought it when it was like lower price. Okay. So let's switch this for you. And this would be it. So this one would be it right here. Basically, I got the one with the controller as well, just so you can have a controller, and I use those three buttons at the top all the time. I have one switch to my TV, one switch to my PS4, and one switches to my Android TV for my Nvidia Shield Pro. So that's how I have it switched. But yeah, I love it. Perfect, awesome. That's what I use. So yeah. It's $129. You get the refurbished one or used one for $99. So yeah, or $84.99 right now on Amazon. So there you go. All right. When you doing a giveaway? I just had 2 giveaways in the past 4 months. Dang it. Yeah. I just had 2 giveaways in the past 4 months. I do not plan on doing another giveaway till, yeah, probably Christmas again, or maybe when we pass a certain amount of viewers or a certain amount of maybe when if we hit 50 million views before then. I mean, but yeah, I don't plan on doing a giveaway soon, but who knows? What was your first Android phone? My first Android phone was the Motorola Droid from Verizon. Droid does. I love that marketing campaign. It was so freaking awesome. But yeah, no, I that was my first one. So yeah. Want to trade the S7 for the Xperia Z5 Premium? No, unfortunately, I will not trade my phone for that one. Do you think Samsung will bring back the IR Blaster since they bring back the SD card slot? I do not think so, unfortunately. I hope. I completely hope. I would fall in love if that was on the Note 6, but I do not believe so, in my opinion. What's the must-need app you have on the S7 Edge? My must-have app, just because I have it on every daily driver I have, is Nova Launcher. I love that app. I use it every single day, and that is my interface, and it changes my interface to the way I like it. So that's the thing that I have to have it, so it looks so pretty, it moves so quickly, and yeah, that's the one that I need to have for my phone. So that's the one I would have to have on a daily basis. other one is HD widgets. I use that on a daily basis. Um, I mean, different things. Nothing too special. Maybe I'll do. I did one last year on what's on the Android guy's phone. Maybe I'll do a new one in a couple months once I get more apps that are different from that. But check out that video. What's on the Android guy's phone, and that one how a lot. Okay. Pornhub on a plane. I would not do that personally, but I'm not judging. What are your thoughts on the upcoming iPhone 7? My upcoming thoughts on the iPhone 7 is I don't know if it's going to be anything special. Mostly because I don't know if the design is going to change. If the design doesn't change on the 7, people are going to be pissed. So if the design doesn't change on the iPhone 7, I think people are going to be very upset because, they already had an S. And usually S, the design doesn't change, but the 7 should. And things are pointing right now that the design won't change. And I think that will upset people. And I think that will cause people to go over to Samsung and other ones. What are the games you play on the Play Store? So basic. I bought a Moga controller. 90% of the games are not compatible with it still. Yeah, Moga is not my favorite controller. I would say buy a regular Bluetooth controller. I will be reviewing these. Again, I just haven't done any videos for a while, but this one's a pretty freaking sweet one. It's like a Nintendo controller, but updated and sexy looking and awesome. So yeah, I will be reviewing those, but those are really good Bluetooth controllers. Yeah, again, Moga is just, they don't have it on a lot of support on there. Any rumors on the IR Blaster coming back from the Note 6? Like I said, as of right now, no. When watching Netflix, is that 1080p? That is in 1080p, right? What the fuck? So it is up converted to the max, but I think that is a 720p. It's not 1080 if I'm not mistaken. But I've never actually looked at the quality of the Netflix. It looks good to me. I mean, Netflix looks fine to me on the VR, but I've never looked at the quality itself. What do you actually see when you use the Gear VR as far as movies, content? I saw it at AT&T store. Didn't give a F. What I particularly see on there is I usually like to see my own movies on there. So like Justice League movies come out every so often, and I like to watch those on there. I never really get around to watching them, so I'll download it to my phone, put it on the Oculus Video, and then just watch it there. There are some really fun games. My favorite is Gunjack. That's probably my favorite game on the VR, and I like playing it. It's a fun game, and it's freaking like, you have a controller in your hand, you're just shooting around. It's freaking awesome. That's probably my favorite game so far. But there is a lot of new content that I just haven't gotten into with the VR. I need to get into it more. But there is lots more stuff coming out. I mean, you have some stuff live stream now, which is really cool. Okay, I have to say what was on this chat right now. RICKY, the Pornhub VR and a plane guy. I think that's hilarious. Does Samsung replace broken phones if it is less than a year? Broken phones, no. If it's a defective phone, yes. But if it's broken, no, they won't replace it for free. You have to pay them to do it. Hello, just logged in, but it's 7 a.m. in Greece. Hey, coming from Greece. Hey, thank you for watching. I missed my question about upgrading from the S7 Edge to the Note 5, or is it better to wait for the Note 6? And will it reach the European stores? Any rumors? I would wait for the Note 6 personally. If you have the Note 5, I would wait. Everything tells me that yes, the Note 6 will go to all the European countries this time around. So great news for that. By the way, I might be visiting Greece for my honeymoon, so let me know the great spots. Thoughts on the Gear S2 Classic por favor. Basically, the S2 Classic is sexy. I have it right here on. I have the non-connected version. If I would be getting it now, I would get the connected version just so I can answer my phone calls. But beautiful. I think it goes for $389 on T-Mobile and AT&T if you buy the connected version. Really good though. I have the metal band on mine, which looks really good. I like it. I've always gotten compliments on it. So yeah, I love the Gear S2 Classic. Between the two, I would easily get the Classic. Unless you are really into sports, because this is more for water resistant. This band is more for water resistance. So yeah. Um, what do you think about Greenify app? Greenify app is a piece of crap. I have a great friend of mine named Steve that always liked Greenify. The app, I thought it was garbage. My phone always outlasted his. Mine didn't have Greenify. His did. Tells you right there. If Greenify can't outlast a phone that doesn't have Greenify, well then Greenify is worthless. Are you familiar with Sonos speakers? If so, what do you think? I do think Sonos speakers are pretty cool. I myself, though, have not ever really used them just for price point, and I don't need the multiple room thing. But I think they're great for their quality. I've never really needed Bluetooth speakers in my house. I really, even when I have people over for a barbecue or something like that, we're usually watching TV or playing something from the sound bar on my TV, or in another room and we're playing a board game and we don't have music in the background. So never needed it for my needs. Um, will the Gear VR add more WWE apps? Possibly. I mean, WWE does make content for the VR right now. If you go onto Milk VR, you have some WWE events. But yeah. Um, I mean, what do you see when you look through the goggles? Is it just like IMAX? Yeah, it's actually bigger than IMAX actually. Especially because most people don't know this. With the Oculus Video, you can actually switch your seat. So when you see it, if you put it on like at a Best Buy or whatever, you're in the middle seat. But you can actually use a gamepad to switch your chair. So I can be in the front row and it's freaking huge. It's bigger than an IMAX screen when you see it like that. And that's what's so cool about it is that you feel like you're in a movie theater. Even if you're on a plane, you feel like you're in a movie theater watching this great movie. You have to give Samsung your phone for 10 days when they fix it. Oh, okay. If you have to give them for that long, I luckily have never broken my phone, so hopefully that won't happen. So I will have to experience that. Is there any news about the VR gaming controller? How does the old one work? I'm looking to get one. So I would use the one I have, which I will be doing a review on. This 8-bit controller, really awesome. You can get it on Amazon for about 45 bucks. I will be doing a review on it. That has all the same button layout that the Samsung one has, but it feels a lot better in the hand, and it's definitely better quality. No word on the new VR controller though. My guess is it won't come out till July with the Note 6 and the new VR. Detachable battery on the Note 6 or ever with waterproofing. The Note 6 will not have detachable battery because it has Samsung Pay, so Samsung will not use removable battery ever again. And there will be no waterproofing on the Note 6. Great choice. I would gladly help you with the advice. Which places or island do you plan on visiting? Greece. By the way, congratulations. Wish you all the best. I don't know which places yet. I do have to figure that out. Hopefully, I'll figure it out soon. I have to see. We're doing a cruise for part of it, so we're doing a cruise honeymoon in Europe for our honeymoon, and then I'm actually taking her to some countries to surprise her. And yeah, some really cool stuff. I can't say it because although she never watches these videos, I don't want to ruin that surprise because there's a huge surprise that's going to astonish her. I have lots of pictures on my Instagram for Ask the Android Guy around that time so you can see all the cool things I'd go to. So yeah. What upcoming phone are you most excited about apart from the Note 6? I'm excited to see some phones. You know, you have the Idol 4 from Alcatel that's coming out. You have whatever new phones Motorola is going to come out with. You have the V12 that'll come out from LG. There are some really interesting things that I'm excited for. I just don't know what's going to be yet. You can only switch seats with a controller with the Gear VR. Yes, I've tried. There's no other way to switch it with the touchpad. What soundbar do you use? How much do you recommend it? I have a Samsung soundbar. It was a free, well, it was free because it was a gift for Christmas. So, I mean, it's good. I'm not a audiophile though, in terms of like I can tell great sound for anything like that. I had my friend who works for Best Buy, home audio and all that stuff. He set it up. It sounds amazing. It's great for everything I need. But is it the best sound? Never know. But you know, I have a feeling that when I have a house, right now I do live in an apartment. When I have a house, that I will have like a surround sound, you know, speakers on the ceiling and all that kind of stuff. And then, but right now the sound bar is perfectly fine. Um, will the Note 6 have a TV tuner or built-in radio function? It, only in Korea. It won't have it anywhere else. Should I trade my S6 Edge Plus for the S7 Edge or keep it? I would personally upgrade to the S7 Edge from the 6 Edge Plus, but that's my opinion. You have a much better camera quality, you have a lot of better things, so I would personally do it, yes. So can people hear what the VR is playing? Yes, it's playing through your phone speaker unless you put Bluetooth headphones on. I always recommend that when you use the Gear VR, you put Bluetooth headphones on because it gives you that full immersive experience. I get on a chair like this, you know, a swivel chair, and I can turn around. I have my headphones on. I am in the Gear VR, you know, world basically. I thought Motorola was out of the phone business. No, it's completely in the phone business, just owned by Lenovo, and they are dictating how Motorola does it now. All right, guys, we went for about an hour and a half today. Lots of questions from you guys. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you guys. Again, I really appreciate it for all the best wishes that you guys gave me throughout all the time from before. It really, it really meant a lot to me. I really thank you guys for everything, all the best wishes you guys had for me. Um, and yeah, I'm trying to get healthy right now. I'm trying to see if I'm gonna need an operation or not. With my gallbladder, I'm just trying to eat healthy right now, so I won't have to possibly. But if it comes to that, I don't know how long I'll be out for. Maybe another like 4 days or something like that, depending on when that happens. But in about 2 weeks, on April 8th, I'll have a visit, so we'll see how it goes. Thank you for everything, guys. I have a lot of stuff coming on the Movie Guide channel too. If you haven't subscribed on the Mainstream Movie Guide channel, I just uploaded my Daredevil Season 2 review and my, what do you call it? Daredevil Season 2 review, and what else? Oh, Batman vs. Superman review. So that one as well. Uploaded both of those, so check that out on my Mainstream Movie Guide channel. And this week we'll be doing lots of other videos. I'm going to be filming either Tuesday or I am not that guy on the comment section. RICKY, the Pornhub guy. I'm not that guy. But yeah, no. But yeah, so I'll be filming more videos. Hopefully, you know, I won't have another bad pain day. And I'll keep being able to film for you guys. Thank you again for everything. It really means a lot to me. And yeah, thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android.